So now that I'm recording it, cut the music off. As soon as I stop recording it.
So all this connected to your phone?
Huh?
All this connected to your phone?
That one. Only got like 9 of them.
I remember you offered me a burner phone, like, yeah, you can wear my burner. I'm like, hey, you got a multiple platform, so you just being honest, you know what I'm saying? I don't even see everything you do. I just see what you do around us. I know you be big, so it makes sense.
All right, let's see. Wade.
Yep.
Nigel. Kittrick.
Recuperated.
Comes everybody here. There's Aldo. Montero. We're going to sing happy birthday in a minute. Got to get everybody in here. Let's see, I got.
And some little recovering heads I see. Yeah, that's recovering head right there, Joe.
You see Travis? Travis, you here? Travis?
Where we gonna be late?
Yeah, he put it on the bird.
Jamal? Darius? Fletcher? Alright, fellas, I'm gonna go through this one time. Gotcha. Alright, so Malcolm, I don't see Malcolm. Travis, I don't see Travis. Kieran, I don't see Kieran. Mike? Am I missing Mike? I think it's Mike. Is that Mike or Michael?
That's Mike.
Okay, so yeah, alright.
Get off my shoulder.
Gotcha, Mike. No Jamal, no Fletcher. Alright, good deal. So guys, I looked at workies. The next like 10 days is awesomely stacked.
Everybody come. Just come.
Stacked. And that's just as of now. On Mondays, normally, today's Monday, right? We normally get about 40 calls on Monday, and they book about 13 more customers every Monday. Monday's always the busiest, because humans, we always procrastinate. We always get Christmas gifts last minute. We always get birthday gifts last minute. And Father's Day's coming up, this Sunday, I guess? So if you're a father and you want on or want off, communicate that now with Hodges. And I don't mean if you're just a father.
It's too late.
Communicate on crew.
Communicate on crew.
7 days over with. That was yesterday.
You get your pass.
Nah, ain't no pass.
You got-
no.
Joe just said.
Today. If you want, send them a message. If you ain't working or you are working, send them a private message. And the reason we want to do private messages with crew is, let's be honest, we have 1 million conversations every day. Those 1 million conversations get lost with the sauce, with the stretch wrap, with the tools, with the dollies, with getting gas, not having gas, calling the customer, not calling the customer, getting lost, taking the wrong turn, running a red light. We get lost in the sauce. 1 million conversations just get lost in the sauce. I would love to have the same amount of memory or gigabytes that my phone may have, but I don't. That's why we carry these devices. They're like an assistant. They're like an AI, documentation, conversation, communication, Those things really allow us to work with the chaos. We're better and bigger than a 911 call center. When I say that we're better and bigger than a 911 call center, our phone lines ring about 40 times a day with new customers. Every day, new customers. And then we get about another 40 calls a day with current customers asking questions. And then we get another 40 phone calls with TLs and representatives asking questions or getting blessings. So we, as a company, get about 150 calls a day. Let's be honest, is 911 getting, in this area, in Madison County, Huntsville city limits, is Huntsville getting 150 911 calls a day? Probably not. 150 calls a day, 911? What about the fire department? Does the fire department in Huntsville get 150 calls a day? New customers, existing customers? Do the fire department get that many calls? Does 911 get that many calls? I say that it's funny. Saturday I was at the house and I get a knock on the door. What do we do when we get a knock on the door?
Who the fuck is that?
You expecting somebody? Did you call somebody over? Who's knocking at the door? Oh shit, do we look? Do we be quiet? Do we just peep out the window? What do we do when we get a knock on the door? Like, it ain't like it was 10, 20 years ago. If you ain't that old or that young, you may or may not know. But 20 years ago, you got a knock on the door, you're like, oh, who's here? Come on in, right? Now we get a knock on the door. I pull the camera ring thing, and I'm like, who the fuck got my door? And it's kind of like a little girl. I call it a little girl because everyone to me is little. And I'm like, who's this? I go to my daughters. I'm like, do you know this girl at my door? Like, why is this little girl knocking on my door, right? I asked my wife, do you know who's knocking? I'm like, I guess we should go to the door now. She'd been there for like 5 minutes, and she ain't left. So we go to the door. I open the door because I'm the big brute, right? Like, how can I help you? And this little girl, I say little, she's probably 25-ish, 27-ish. She's small, she's petite. And she answers, she looks at me, and her eyes are a little kind of funny looking, like she's half Mexican, but her eyes look funny, and I don't know why. And she very politely looks at me and says, can you call 911? And I'm like, I feel like this is a scam. I feel like this is a setup. I said, I can. Do you want to come inside? And I'm like, oh shit, should I have said that? I don't know. She's like, no, I'll stay right here. Can you just call 911? And I go, yeah, let me go grab my phone. By this time, Carla's listening from the couch, and she runs over and like, you know, who's this female voice asking for 911? So Carla takes over. I go inside. Me and the kids, we get on the camera phone on the door, and we're like, what's going on out here, right? This lady's talking to Carla about calling 911. Long story short, her mom comes in town from California. She's 66 years old, the mom is. Her and the mom been drinking, and it's like 2 p.m. on a Saturday. And they've been drinking, and they got in an argument, and she needs her mom to leave, and her mom broke her phone, and she needs us to call 911 to get her mom out of the house. And I'm like, oh, this is the world we live in, right? We have a few drinks, we break a phone, we kick somebody out, a mom and a daughter get. I say that because we get more phone calls than 911. How often does someone knock on your door and say, Darius, can you call 911? I don't know about y'all, it doesn't happen to me very often. So let's have understanding and expectations. When you get to the board today, is there a possibility something's going to adjust? Is there a possibility a customer could cancel? Is there a possibility a new move could get added? Is there a possibility at 11 o'clock Hodges says, hey, we got a piggy, there's a 911 call. I want to give Holland an applause. Y'all give Holland an applause. This is Holland right here. I think it was Saturday, he came in after finishing a move, maybe after 2 hours. You were done for a while. Holland came in after about 2 hours, and he successfully jumped on a move for Hodges and for a customer, acted as a hero, and I believe his Robin, his sidekick was James, am I right? James, yeah, you came in? Y'all give James an applaud. Y'all give James an applaud. Hey, that's really cool that you guys did that. I really appreciate you guys. I know the customers appreciate you guys. Hodges appreciate you guys. Good job, James. Good job, Holland. Brand new booties. Brand new booties. I like to say that because it's a great thing to come in and have great expectations. It really is. So I want you guys just to continue that. I want you guys to feed on that. I want you guys to understand the secret to living is giving. The secret to living is giving. The more you give, the more anxiety you lose. The more you give, the more depression you lose. The more you give, the more anger you lose. The more frustration you lose. The more you give, you also give away your angst, your anxiety, your frustration, your depression. The more you give, the more you'll grow. The more you give, the more you'll grow. Montero, come on up here. Come on up here, Montero. This motherfucker's birthday today. Y'all give him a hand of applause. Y'all give him a hand of applause. Right, so everybody gets 31 licks. Y'all go ahead. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, let's load our trucks. Load our trucks. Happy birthday, Montero. Happy birthday, Montero. Y'all go ahead of me.